Good afternoon, everyone. Right now, you're watching Carly Phoenix. So, all week I was thinking of sharing my weird, odd, and fun dreams to you guys because my dreams this year have become more fun and the ones I don't get scared about a lot. I didn't have any bad dreams recently. Okay, I'll stop playing with my hair. Okay, so I didn't have any bad dreams recently. They were more of really fun to the point that I wanted to write a little series based on my dreams on my Google Docs. So I wrote over 60 dreams that I can remember, but I'm not gonna share all of them with you guys because of time issues, storage. I'm filming this on my Motorola, but I still don't want to make the video too long. So let's get right into it, shall we? The first one is I went to the movies with Hannah and Joshua, two of my friends that Lauren and I used to hang out with, when we were 8-year-olds. So I went to the movies with them, and the theater went really weird and had My Little Pony characters messing up the place. I went home and saw a movie of a character who wasn't supposed to speak, one of those silent characters, but makes noise, actually speaking words. I looked up one of the Ice Age movies to see it again. One thing I wanted to say specifically, one of the My Little Pony characters turned into a huge muffin and started stomping on everyone in the theater. But I don't think people really died. I don't think they did. So I was a television personality, and I wanted to choose where I wanted to sleep in a big house. I wanted to choose a room with 3 beds, but all the 3 beds were taken. And then later I went over to another house, where the other TV personalities were in, these TV personalities were living in 2 rooms. I got into some fight with another person, and a producer kicked me out. I went to Dance Etc. and asked about school dance tryouts and found out I missed half the clinic. That would have been the worst. I don't think that would really happen. But here's the thing, I'm trying out for my dance team, right? And I am going to try out through Google Classroom, a virtual tryouts. So I have all this time to warm up, stretch, go over some dance things, and take some privates with one of my dance teachers, so that's really good. I went to the house of a friend of mom's, I went to my mom's friend's house, and I wanted to take a tour around, and Mom brought her dog with her, and it was kind of dark. It was kind of dark, but not really. But some lights were on, and then I wanted to see what the upstairs looked like, but I didn't want to be rude, and maybe that tells me I'm too modest sometimes. My nose is really itchy. Must be allergies. It might be dust. I don't know. Okay. My sister and I went to a van with Riley, Lauren's best friend, to a dance recital, and we ended up in a big room at the back of the bus, and we were playing around, and we got into the bus, and they're people looking at us through this window, and Lauren and I were sitting on this wall, and there was a window of people looking at us like we were nuts. So, and we got into the actual bus, and I kept forgetting the things that I needed to bring to the building. So I was like, okay, let's go. And the bus driver was like, did you forget this? Oh yeah, I needed that too. And then he also said, oh, don't forget that as well. And I'm like, oh. So that kind of happened 4 times. We were going to do the dance recital in a huge locker room when we got to the building. we were both in a ballet routine with hip hop music, and I forgot the routine, so I tried to do what everybody was doing, what everybody else in the routine was doing. Wow, I mean, I have seen this like particular solo that this girl had on this side ballet attire and this side hip hop attire, and it was really good. I loved it. I was at a party at my grandparents' old house. My grandparents moved, like actually moved neighborhoods. And I saw Kenzie Ziegler in the dining room, and we talked some. And we both caught some little girl getting in trouble in the living room. I slowly went into the living room to see if it stopped because I needed to talk with my mom. I was at a big house with Barney in it. I still have access on YouTube to like this Barney movie that I used to watch all the time. Maybe like a lot of times. Barney's Great Adventure. Do y'all remember that? Just comment to me if y'all remember it. I went upstairs in the back to see what show some other people were watching, and then I went back down and Barney was at the front staircase singing a love song about somebody. Yeah. I kind of think about spontaneous singing a lot. And I asked if he could sing that again, and he told me that he doesn't remember how it goes because he broke into it. And I have dreams about movie theaters a lot, for some reason, and somewhat of malls. I was going to a movie theater, and we got lost and ended up going to a mall with a lot of huge games we could play. So we discovered a play place in the center, which there were monkey bars and a sky climbing thing, like a sky trail ropes course, kind of like the one you see in like Oak Mountain Lanes. The last time I went to Oak Mountain Lanes, we couldn't get on that because it was really hard to clean due to the coronavirus. And I also went on the second floor to play a screen game that was shown, like, the screen that was shown like a projector in the middle of the ceiling. And it was some kind of like combat game. It was some fighting. We had to use our entire bodies. Like I see in the videos of Just Dance that I used to watch. I can't remember what the game console is that you use, that you have to use your whole body to dance. No, I mean, it wasn't Wii, but there was like a silhouette version of you like at the top of the screen, like showing you the dances and like showing you how you dance, and then the screen telling you whether you're doing it right or not. I'm not really good at explaining, so. I went to a big red roller coaster and parked near Chick-fil-A, and I learned that Chick-fil-A was going to sponsor it somehow. Then I saw a music video of a new unofficial song of one of my favorite artists, and after that, I saw a lot of belly dancing butterflies at a restaurant, or like, I don't know where it was. Maybe a restaurant with this little stage that showcases a lot of talented people. This is the one I explained on TikTok one time. My family and the D'Amelios were packing for a beach trip at our house, and I wanted to get Charlie's attention, but I was a little nervous, and when I actually got her attention, I was like, oh my gosh, she noticed me, and all that fangirl stuff. I asked her if I could borrow one of her swimsuits because mine was getting small. I tried on my bikini recently, well, maybe like a few months ago, and it still fits. But in this dream, it was getting small. And she said, yeah. So I had one in mind. Okay, so she took me to Lauren's former room. That's where they were sleeping, and she looked in her suitcase, and she had plenty of bikinis, and she let me choose which one that I wanted to do. that I wanted to wear. So I had one in mind that I wanted, and it was like the white bikini with the beach print, the colorful beach print. I think I had a dream that also had Charlie in it, but I can't really remember what it was, or if I actually had that dream or not. Right? In my dream, Hannah and Joshua moved houses in my dream. I said in my dream twice. So in my dream, Hannah and Joshua moved houses, and we watched a movie that took place in their house. Like the actors were going to a closet of some sort, and there was like ropes hanging on the ceiling. I'm not really sure. There was a really cool staircase. I think about big houses a lot. And I had this dream where Lauren and I were at Dad's house, and this was like a different apartment that Dad used to live. And we were clumped together. We were both in our swimsuits. I complained that mine was too big, so Mila, my stepmother, and Dad took us to shop for new swimsuits. Every time I touched a bikini, Dad would go, "Creepy people!" jokingly. So it's like, ooh, I like this. Creepy people! What about this? Creepy people! Because like, the thing where guys or people stare at you in your bikinis and stuff. Lauren and I went to Dad's former house in the Coventry. Yeah, Dad used to live in the Coventry. By the way, he lives in Florida now because my stepmother got a job there a long time ago, back in like 2014. And Dad took us to his backyard full of beautiful insects. Like, his backyard is actually like this little screen room, like window, like one of those window rooms in the back. Sometimes with a pool and sometimes with like chairs. But this time it was like a beautiful backyard with a lot of plants and beautiful insects. And one of my imaginary friends, and I actually saw one of my imaginary friends, he got pinched by a scorpion and he screamed so loud. Okay, here's one of my personal favorites. I went into an interesting theater trip. We went to a museum and halls were flooded, so we swam to go places in the museum. I went to see a game going on with some friends, and there was a huge wall between us and the field. They were playing some kind of baseball or something. I have no idea. But I didn't even know why. I didn't even know why I didn't think about my clothes, all my clothes getting wet if the museum was like all flooded. And I played with some balls on the stick like you see on an abacus. And it turns out I did that, which caused the game to be ruined, and something splashed and ruined their game. So my friends and I, who wanted to see the game a little bit, were forced to leave the room. So we went back to the hallways, and I saw Elmo spelling out a person's name, and either he or that person says "shut up" to another, and I'm like, what? I witnessed a giant white horse, crushing on someone, and to distract myself from seeing it happen, like I was turning this way, I was singing operatically, please don't hurt 2 times, like in quotes, please don't hurt. I really didn't want to see it because like it was a little disturbing. So after the trip, all of us looked at the highlights of the trip on a wall. It was like this cool slideshow, like this really long slides and maybe a slideshow on a long narrow screen with a nice purple blue stone as a frame around it. And on YouTube, I wanted to see a weird kids educational channel that kept popping up on my recommended. On my recommendations, I didn't know what it was. I mean, that section was actually before the museum trip that we went to. So I have a lot of dreams that I'm going to tell you about later in the next part 2. I'm going to make a part 2 out of this, but as I see, I spent like 17 minutes telling you a lot of my dreams. So stay tuned for more. I might do an ASMR video next week because like somebody requested something, but stay tuned for part 2, basically. Carly Phoenix out.